Each and every human being, male or female, walking the face of this earth right now, has 5 pathways into their bodies from the outside. 5 pathways that affect your energy, that lead from the outside to the inside. 3 of those pathways are physical, 2 are spiritual. And if you want to get technical, 2 of them are physical, 1 is sort of a hybrid, and the other 2 are spiritual. I talk about that in my book, From Fear to Faith, The Survivor Story, and the importance of shoring up your defenses so that you can live your best life, so that you can live your most productive life, both physically and spiritually. The physical channels are your skin and your mouth. Things that you put on your skin absorb into your skin and affect your body either positively or negatively, which ultimately affects your energy, your spirit. Things that you take in via your mouth, things you eat and things you drink, do the same. And that hybrid one, your nose. You can inhale things. You can inhale smoke, physical smoke that affects you physically, which in turn affects you spiritually and energetically. But I call it a hybrid because there is a spiritual phenomenon called clairsalience. Clairsalience, it is the ability to smell things that are not seen, energies. And of course, things that we can smell things that are not seen. For example, you can smell food cooking in the kitchen and not see the food. But clairsalience is the ability to smell energies. For example, you can smell a person who is not in the room with you. You can smell a person who is not in the same state with you. You can smell a person who's not in the same country as you. You smell their essence and you know that that's that person. That person may be thinking about you. That person may have you on their mind. There are some people out there that can actually smell the presence of their loved ones that have transitioned, all right? But today, we're not talking about the skin, the mouth, and the hybrid, physical/spiritual, the nose. We're dealing with the 2 spiritual channels, the eyes and the ears. So today, we're going to talk about why it is so important to understand those spiritual channels of man, and ultimately why we must protect and uplift our women. And when I'm saying we, I'm talking to the men in particular, but I'm also talking to the women. Understanding the spiritual channels of man and why we must protect and uplift our women. Coming up on this edition of Maddie's Rap. Stay tuned. Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Maddie's Rap. I'm your host, the world-renowned author and storyteller, Matt D. Talford, author of a couple of award-winning books that I will tell you about at the end of today's video. Why? Because I'm going to attempt to speed through this information, but give you as much as you can hold, all right? I'm going to speed through this, but I want you to take away so much from it. So I want to see how much I can compact into the shortest amount of time. Now, if you saw my new for 2023 video, you know that when I have this on, we're dealing with topics of spiritual warfare, okay? Y'all go check that video out if you haven't seen it, and you'll know what's new for 2023 rather. Now, the other thing, I'm a nonconformist, okay? I'm a nonconformist, so Romans 12:2, that's why I got it there. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, all right? So I'm all about renewing your mind. That's why I do what I do on this channel. I want y'all to break those chains off. That was the real work of the Messiah. That was the real work he commissioned the disciples to do. Break chains and set the captives free. He ain't telling them to take a rifle or a sledgehammer and bust open no prison doors. Those weren't the types of captives he was talking about. He was talking about freeing those captive minds. Where your mind goes, your body follows, all right? Where attention goes, energy flows. So let's talk about these spiritual channels and see what I can do with this, y'all. All right. What are the spiritual channels? What zone are they connected to? Your spiritual channels are your eyes and ears, all right? And those are the receivers. You got 2 types of, if you're dealing with a radio, What is a radio for? What's the purpose of a radio? The purpose of a radio is to transmit and receive information. Okay? That is the purpose of a radio. Same purpose for a computer. Transmit, process, process information, receive information, transmit information. You put that in whatever order you want. Okay? Now, the spiritual receivers are connected to, I just asked the question, which energy zone? Energy zone number 6. What is an energy zone? An energy zone is also called a chakra. Y'all see me do this all the time. Every man or woman on this planet, I don't care what your gender is, okay? Every man and woman has 6 energy zones called chakras. 3 of them are masculine, 3 are feminine. What is feminine energy versus masculine energy? Feminine energy is spiritual, masculine energy is physical, okay? So, we are dealing, and I want y'all to go watch my video, Was the Rise of the Divine Feminine Prophesied in Scripture? Because I break down how the energies are balanced between the cosmos and the earth, or the heavens and the earth. The ages are cosmic ages. They are heavenly ages. We're exiting the age of Pisces. Pisces is what? Pisces is feminine energy. To balance that, if the age is feminine, the energy in the earth is masculine dominant. If the age is feminine dominant, the energy in the earth is masculine dominant. When the age is masculine, the energy in the earth is feminine dominant. Okay? So feminine energy is rising in the earth. What is feminine? Spiritual. What is masculine? Physical. We see a rise of spiritual energy in the earth. Okay? So those spiritual energy zones that are connected to energy, those spiritual channels, rather, that are connected to energy zone number 6 are your eyes and your ears. What is the 6th chakra? It is also called the third eye chakra. It is where you perceive. It is the center of perception. Do we not perceive things that we see? Take a look at a picture and then tell me if that picture is a happy picture, a sad picture, a frightening picture, a joyous picture. That is for you to answer. You're able to answer that based on what you perceived when you looked at that picture. A lot of us can look at pictures of family members and tell what kind of mood they were in when they took that picture. A lot of us can see through a smile. Is that an authentic smile or is that a fake smile? How do you know? You perceived it through that 6th chakra, that is feminine energy. Who perceives better, men or women? Women do. You already know. Take that and follow it to the side, because I'm gonna come back when I start talking about the reason why it is so important to protect and uplift women. Okay? The ears. That's also connected to the 6th chakra. The ears, you perceive things that you hear. All right? If I'm gonna say a phrase, I'm gonna say 3 words, and you tell me what you perceived when you heard them. Put it in the comments. All right? I love you. I love you. Okay? That's format number 1. I love you. I love you. Format number 2. I love you. I love you. What did you perceive? What did you perceive the differences to be in format number 1 versus format number 2? Which one would you say was authentic versus which one was probably not authentic? How do you know? You perceived via what you heard, okay? You perceived it via what you heard. Sight and sound. They're connected. Those are your spiritual channels, your eyes and your ears. What you see and what you hear, you perceive, okay? What you perceive can raise your vibrations or it can lower your vibrations, okay? Now, let's deal with the other spiritual channel, which is not really a channel. Those are channels because you receive stuff via channels, okay? You turn your channel to channel 5, you're receiving what is being broadcast to channel 5. So the eyes and the ears are receivers. But there's another spiritual thing that's not a channel. It is a transmitter. And it's masculine. If you guessed the voice, the mouth, the throat, then you guessed correctly. The throat chakra, chakra number 5, okay? Chakra number 6 over here is feminine energy. Chakra number 5 is masculine energy. What you speak is then perceived because it goes into the spiritual channel of the ear. So you can transmit. You can transmit via your throat, okay? One is a transmitter, one's a receiver. This whole thing here is the radio. Chakra number 5, chakra number 6, okay? What's 6 plus 5, somebody? It's 11. It is 11, okay? 11 in numerology is a master number. 11 is a spiritual number. It is the number that connects us to the spiritual realms, all right? That is a number of spirituality. I'm going to read a quick excerpt from numerology.com here, and I'm going to tell you guys just a little short blurb. What does 11 mean in numerology? The most remarkable characteristic of the master number 11 is its connection to a higher source of wisdom. It is intuitive to the point of being psychic, channeling its knowledge and meaning from a spiritual source. Okay? All right? But the master numbers have a responsibility, and it's the number 11's duty to use this gift of awareness to deliver cosmic truths that encourage humanity. So the combination of 6 and 5 produce 11. I just read to you what the master number 11 means in numerology. Why do they call these master numbers? They don't get reduced. You got master number 11, master number 22, and master number 33. Now, why did I mention reduced? Because when you're dealing with numerology, when you see combinations of numbers, no matter how many they are to be reduced to a single number, unless it's a number 11, a number 22, or a number 33. So if your combination produces one of those 3 numbers, you don't reduce it anymore. Okay, some say 44 as well. I don't know about that. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm still learning some of this stuff too, believe it or not. But if it's not an 11, not a 22, not a 33, you don't reduce that number anymore. And some people just say if it's a repeating number, some people figure repeating numbers are master numbers. So take it how it fits or whatever. I'm just dealing with the non-repeating numbers. If it's a non-repeating number, you boil it down to 1. But if it's a number 11, you don't boil it down. If it's a number 22, you don't boil it down. It's a number 33, you don't boil it down. So I just told you that number 11 has a highly powerful spiritual vibration to it. 6, the third eye chakra. 5, the throat chakra. Both of those are spiritual in nature. You cannot see words. I mean, you can see words on the picture, but you cannot see spoken word. You can only receive it. You can only experience it. Okay? You cannot see the sight of something. You cannot, you cannot, let me take that back. You cannot touch spoken word. All right? You can't see it, but you also can't touch spoken word. You also cannot touch the sight of something. You're seeing me on this screen right now, but you can't touch the sight of me. You can touch the monitor. If you see me in person, you can touch my face, but you cannot touch the sight of me. All right? Sight is spiritual. Sound is spiritual. You cannot touch the sound of my voice right now. So those are spiritual. Speech, chakra number 5. Sight and sound are perception. That's chakra number 6. 6 and 5 go together. They produce an 11. 11 is a master number. I just read that to you. Okay? Now, how does that play into men and women? How does that play into women and men and a man's role? Women are more powerful spiritual channelers than men. Women are more powerful spiritual transmitters than men. Women are more powerful spiritual receptors than men. Women can pick up the energy of a room better than men. Let's deal with a little bit of astrology here. We know our water signs are highly perceptive, okay? Water signs are known for being spiritual and perceptive. What are the water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, okay? What are your 3 major placements? Your sun, your moon, and your rising. All right? Now, I'm not going to get into the break. I could break down the sun versus the moon and how water signs that have moon placements are a little bit more powerful than water signs that have, spiritually speaking, are a little bit more powerful than water signs that have sun placements. Why? Because emotions, spirituality, feelings, those are products of the heart. The heart is the feminine energy zone. That's chakra number 4. So it's going to be a little bit more pronounced in the moon because the moon is the center of emotions. Emotions go with the heart. So the moon sign that's a water sign is going to be a little bit more amplified than a water sign that's in a sun placement or a rising placement. But let's leave that to the side for now. Water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. If you're dealing with a pound for pound, match for match, you take, for example, a Scorpio woman and a Scorpio man their perception skills are going to be sharp. But that Scorpio woman is going to have a little bit tighter perception if she's high functioning, if she's not in low vibrational energy. If she's high vibrational and her spiritual channels are clean, she's balancing her chakras or whatever, she's going to be a little bit more spiritually powerful than that Scorpio man. Same with a Cancer placement. A Cancer woman is going to be more perceptive than a Cancer man. A Pisces woman is going to be more perceptive than a Pisces man, because you're talking about perception in, which is a spiritual energy in a female. Spirituality is feminine. Physicality is masculine. Okay? So, you take, now let me show you something. Let me show you something else that's very significant. Our connection to the ether is the 7th chakra. That's the crown chakra. You take 7 and 11 and put them together. You go to Vegas, you roll a 7 or 11 on the, what is it, the craps table? You roll a 7 or 11, you win it. That wasn't done by accident. 7 is a powerful number spiritually, as is 11. I just showed you that. So when you take that combination of 11 and you combine that with the 7th chakra, you got some major power. You got some major power. Now, if you combine 7 and 11, that produces the number 18. That reduces down to a 9. 9 is a very powerful number in numerology. 9 is the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. So I'm putting all this stuff together, y'all, to see how powerful women are spiritually and why they need to be protected. I just gave you the spiritual channels. It is important to understand what these spiritual channels are. Not just, I'm putting the women's stuff to the side for a minute, and understand that what you take in via your spiritual channels affects you. It affects you spiritually first. Things that happen in the spiritual then manifest in the natural. This is why I don't listen to a pharmaceutical ad. If I happen to be watching TV or a YouTube video and a pharmaceutical ad comes on, I either mute the television or I will hit the skip ad or whatever. So if it's television playing, if I'm watching a football game, which I do rarely anymore, but if I'm watching a sporting event or something, I don't watch the news. If I'm watching something on broadcast television and a pharmaceutical ad comes on, I'm muted. I don't want to hear that, because you're putting, what they're doing is they're putting out stuff. Hey, if you feel this, they're planting a seed. They're planting a seed. What if they said, hey, if you drink some lemon juice, first thing, if you drink some fresh squeezed water, or if you drink some fresh squeezed lemon in a glass of warm water first thing in the morning, it's going to help clean you out and you're going to feel great all day. What if they put that in the ads instead of telling you about some pill that is going to have 13, 14, 15 different side effects just to get to help you with one symptom? Spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare. Why do you think the news shows you one negative story after another? Vibration lowering. Okay, via your spiritual channels, your eyes and your ears. So protect your spiritual channels. All right. Now, why do we need to protect the women? And I'm gonna wrap this up. Because women are, they're special from the standpoint that they are more powerful spiritually than men are. Men are more physical. So guess what? How does that work now? You got a feminine energy zone. Now, when you're talking about the voice as a transmitter, that voice is going to carry more weight in a man than it will a woman. Always. All right? A woman can raise her voice and a man can say the same thing in a calm voice, and it's still going to carry more weight than that woman raising her voice. Y'all know. Y'all stop closing it. Y'all stop coming in and out. You're letting flies in. I'm going to tell y'all one time to stop coming in and out of that door. You letting flies in. Ooh, daddy ain't playing. It hit different when daddy said it. It hits different when daddy says it. Okay? It hits different. But women still have that same 5th chakra. So guess what? Women for ages have been suppressed. Their voices have been suppressed. They've not been allowed to speak. Women should be seen, not heard. You hear stuff like that. You hear stuff like that, okay? And so, but what happens there is you are losing the benefit, the spiritual benefit of that woman not taking what she perceived and being able to feel safe enough to speak on it. We're entering an age of spirituality, y'all. We're entering an age of spirituality where the feminine energy in the earth is rising as it was scheduled to. This is all divine timing. This is divine order. There's nothing you can do to stop it, okay? But we have a job to do. We have a job to do because, why do I say protect the women? Because there are energies out there that are trying to suppress true divine feminine energy, all right? If they can't suppress it, if they can't squelch it and silence it, what do? They put forth, the images they put forth are women that are overtly sexual or overtly masculine. Why? Because that in and of itself, those two things are still suppression of divine feminine energy. Those are suppression of divine feminine energy. Now, don't get me wrong. Every man wants to see a beautiful woman. He wants to see a sexy woman. Sexuality is a function of chakra number 2, which is also a feminine energy. Therefore, a man can never be as sexy as a woman. It ain't never gonna happen. Okay, it ain't never gonna happen. But divine masculine energy and divine feminine energy were designed to work together. Together. All right. So, as men, we have a responsibility to protect and uplift women and not work against them such that their spiritual channels are clouded and they cannot properly perceive, which if they cannot properly perceive, how are they going to combine what they're perceiving with their crown chakra? All right. How are they if a woman is not allowed to speak on what she perceived, then you're not getting the power of that number 11 because she's not activating her own 5th chakra. Now, there's ways around that because you can put her with a strong man who's righteous and respects that woman. He's righteous and respects that woman, so he can be her voice. We were created to function as a unit. So you get a woman who's in her divine femininity, and you partner her with a man who's in his divine masculinity, who he respects that woman and he values her spiritual gifts. He can then speak on what she perceived. Or maybe she's not strong enough in her masculine energy. Maybe she's not strong enough in her 3rd chakra, which is the center of self-confidence, that solar plexus. But guess what? If she's paired with a divine a man who's in his true masculinity that respects and values women, then he can be her voice. He can be her voice. See what I'm saying? This age is let me tell you something. We're becoming more and more spiritual, and therefore women are coming to the forefront. They're going to continue coming to the forefront. Fellas, if you're in your ego, you better get used to it. But these are righteous women that are coming to the forefront, not unrighteous. Not unrighteous. These are righteous women that are coming to the forefront. And I'm not talking about righteous in terms of religion, because I tell y'all how I feel about religion. Y'all can throw all of that out for me. Religion and spirituality don't often mix. They try to make them mix, but religion is rules. Spirituality is freedom. In spirituality, you're following the rules and laws of the universe, not the laws that some man laid down and said, this is what you're supposed to be doing. They're universal laws and rules. What you put out, you get back. That's universal. Proverbs 26 and 27, that's universal. He who diggeth the pit will fall in it. He who rolls the stone is going to roll back on him. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. Whatsoever man sows, that will he also reap. Those are universal principles. Okay? Those are universal. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about righteousness in terms of universal law, not laws that some man made. You can't eat this. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing this at this place at this time, whatever. You can't wear this. You know what? If it makes you high vibrational, wear it. If it's not harming anybody, wear it. If you're offended by what he got on, don't look. If you're offended by what she got on, don't look. If you're wearing it to offend somebody, you're gonna get dealt with by spirit. I'm gonna wrap this up, y'all. There is an agenda to continue to suppress women. This is why women have been suppressed throughout the ages. They have been suppressed by you. A lot of us think it's men that's suppressing women. It's not necessarily men in particular. It is wickedness and evil. Why? Because spiritual power, things that are in spirit eventually manifest in the physical. So guess what? If you can make this woman afraid, if you can push her down, or you can make her feel like she's just a piece of meat, you can make her feel like she's dumb, she's stupid or whatever, make her afraid to speak. Oh, she dumb, man, you dumb. Everybody laughing at you. Don't open your mouth, you sound stupid. Guess what? You have just committed sorcery on her, and now she's afraid to speak because you told her that she was going to sound stupid. So what you did is you, in effect, attacked her in her 6th chakra. You attacked her right at the center of her feminine spiritual power, her perception. She heard you say she sounds stupid when she speaks, and because she's not strong enough in her masculine energy, and perhaps she's not partnered with anybody that helps increase her strength, she withered down. It's like, well, I ain't gonna say nothing because I don't want to sound stupid. They told me I sound stupid when I speak. They said I don't know what I sound. They said I sound like an idiot. I don't want people looking at me like I'm an idiot. So now her perception never gets turned off, but because she doesn't speak, she doesn't get the combined power of the 6 and the 5. So even if she is getting downloads, she's not speaking on it. And you're not getting the fortune of the 7 and the 11 combined. We got a job to do. Men, protect these women. Protect these women from vicious men. Protect these women from dogs that don't want them to speak. Protect these women from dogs that tell them that whatever tools they use to get messages and answers from the spirit realm. If you're not being wicked, I tell people this all the time. You get people, the interpretation of dreams is getting more and more accurate right now. That's happening. The spiritual power, the spiritual energy in the earth is being increased. The earth is feminine. Earth energy is feminine. The earth itself is feminine. Don't believe it, drop a seed in the ground, in some fertile ground, and see what happens. The earth gives birth to whatever that seed was, the product of that seed. All right? So there's a lot happening in the earth, but we got to protect our women as this transition happens, because they want to keep that spiritual power down, and that spiritual power is ultimately going to benefit you and me. All right? Male and female. And ultimately the children. Some of these beings don't want children being born. Some of these beings don't want children being born. How do you get children? It's got to be the combination of masculine and feminine energy via the sacral chakra. Via the sacral chakra. All right? They don't want that. They don't want that. Oh, there's too many people on the planet. These people continue to insult the Most High God. They continue to insult the Creator, as if He couldn't create an ecosystem that could sustain itself. Why in the HE double hockey stick do you think when you drop one seed in fertile soil that it produces, it yields, it bears fruit that has multiple seeds per fruit or vegetable? That's basic math. There can never be more people than food. But if you listen, if you don't guard your spiritual channels and perceive properly, and you allow these lies and the sorcery to affect you, you're going to believe the agenda and go with it. As if the Most High didn't know what He was doing when He created the earth, the heavens and the earth. If your stomach, look, I'm going to hit y'all with something that's going to blow your mind, and I'm going to get off of here. What they teach about the earth running out of food and there not being enough food to support people would in effect be the equivalent of people never getting fat and they just combusting. Like, you don't get fat. You eat. Instead of you getting, over years, instead of you growing and expanding, you just combust. Let's say if you're a man, you're a 32 waist, and you just keep eating all day long. You don't exercise, whatever. You just combust. You keep your 32-inch waist, and then you just blow up. Does that make sense? Have you ever seen that happen? Or do people expand to accommodate what they're eating? Now, if we expand to accommodate what we're eating, what do you think the earth does? Do you think it's beyond the realm of possibility that the earth can expand to support what is in it and contract to match the size of the inhabitants? If we can expand and contract based on need, why can't the earth do the same thing? Wake up, people. Wake up. Wake the up, okay? We got to protect the women, fellas. We got to protect the women. Go look at the video I did talking about the 3 most valuable things in creation. It ain't money, it ain't gold. Land, manpower, and women. Those 3 things. Without the woman, you don't have a man. Without men, you can't work land, you can't protect land, you can't defend land. You can't explore land properly. All right, efficiently. Those are the 3 most valuable things. We got to protect the women. And women, y'all got to protect each other and stop tearing each other down. You stop with this. You see something in social media with a woman dogging another woman out, turn it off. Turn it off. All that is negative seed planting. That's all that is. That's planting a seed to make you think it's okay to tear down another woman. It's not okay for you to tear down another woman. That's your sister. That is your sister. I'm going to tell you something else they did. Y'all, some people don't like this. I've been preaching this for 2 years now. Some people don't like this. This whole system that the church establishment, the worldwide church establishment, y'all know which one I'm talking about. All right. Product of the Romans. This whole system that they created, where they told you this lie that a man and a woman, marriage, hey, look, why do you think the divorce rate's so high? Divorce rate is high because they took something unnatural and tried to make it natural. Monogamy should not be forced. It should be a choice. It should be a choice. There are more women than men. That was done for a reason. That was done for a reason. So what they've done is they put y'all in competition with each other when there is no competition. That's going to make somebody hot. Somebody ain't going to want to hear that. But those more of those chains on your minds that got to come off. Do the math. Do the math. Y'all say God loves you, but then you believe that he allowed you to be birthed into a lottery system where you lucky if you... I'm not even going to go down. That ain't what this video is about. Fellas, we got to protect the women. Women, y'all got to stop tearing each other down. Y'all are the arbiters of the spiritual power that's coming. And men, we're going to have spiritual power too. Why? Because we have feminine energy zones as well. But it's not going to be as pronounced as that a woman has. I'm not going to tell y'all about those books. I want to end this video. The links are in the description box. You will see thumbnails at the end of the video. If you're new to my channel, please consider becoming a subscriber. If you like this content, hit the subscribe button. Don't consider it. Just hit it. Just hit the subscribe button, okay? Because this is the kind of jewels I drop as I receive them from the Most High, from Source, from the ether. I drop these videos, okay? Women, stop being afraid to speak. Use your fifth chakra. Use your fifth chakra. Now, for you to use your fifth chakra, you need those supporting lower energies. Remember, a house is built from the bottom up. Work on that foundation. Do you feel safe? All right, that's your root chakra, masculine energy. Now move on up. Do you feel confident? Do you feel confident enough to speak? If you're not speaking, it's probably because you don't feel confident enough to speak. Work on that third chakra. Go listen to some third chakra sound frequencies to build up and shore up your confidence zone. When you feel confident enough to speak, then you will speak that which you perceive. You can't turn your perception off. You cannot turn it off. You cannot turn that perception off. You're going to perceive it. And that's why the world, the enemy, shows all of these images and gives all these sounds, has all this negative music to cloud your perception and have you perceiving what they want you to perceive. What did I say in another video? Perception is reality. If it's vexing you, don't look at it. If it's vexing you, don't listen to it. If it's putting you in a type of mood where you're going to go out here and talk down to somebody, it's called energy vampirism. If it's making you, if it's putting you in a certain mood where you're going and putting somebody else in a certain mood, don't cut it off. Find the source and cut it off. Don't be afraid to speak, ladies. I know some amazingly spiritual ladies out there that you never get to hear how spiritual they are because they're afraid to speak. Speak in confidence and speak in truth. I don't know who needed to hear that. I love you guys. All right, again, like the video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already and you want to, please subscribe, share this video, leave a comment in the comment box. Ladies, this one was for you. Fellas, it's for you too, because we got a job to do. We got a job to do. I'm going to do another video talking about the movie The Tomorrow War, because there's some very powerful symbolism in there that most people I talked to, it went right over their head. They missed it. I'm going to break that movie down. I'm going to watch it again because I watched it last year. I'm going to watch it again, and I'm going to break that movie down for you. It actually feeds into what I'm talking about. It actually feeds into what I'm talking about. All right? All right? Fellas, you want to be treated like a king, you got to be a king. You got to be a king. You want respect, you got to show respect. Ladies, you want to be treated like a queen, you got to be a queen. Respect yourself first. Respect yourself first, and then, you know, how you treat yourself commands how you get treated by others. How you treat your sister, it ultimately comes back around to you in the end. We got to bring the love back, y'all. We got to bring the love back. Tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You got to show it. Peace.